These are our stories from the driver's seat. Our opinions only, not our employers or school districts. Student safety and privacy always come first. So no names, faces, routes, or, you know that kid, details ever make it on the podcast.
Welcome, friends, to the very first episode of School Bus Banter. I'm Joe, and along with my co-host Jerry,
Hello.
This podcast is about our kids being kids, laughing, arguing over the seats, losing their shoes and their teeth somehow. If you're looking for a podcast about how to be a bus driver, licensing, training, etc., this is not the podcast. But if you like funny stories, real-life bus drama, you're in the right place. This is School Bus Banter, where the kids are loud, the stories are true, and the banter never stops.
Well, speaking of banter, we should probably introduce ourselves, right? Like who we are, how long we've been driving, that kind of stuff, so people can kind of understand.
Before we banter, we want to let people know who we are.
Exactly.
If we're qualified to do this.
I mean, we're not qualified. I mean, we're qualified to be bus drivers. I don't know about qualified to talk about it.
Sure. I think when we tell our stories, it'll
Absolutely. So tell me about you, what your story is, all that fun stuff, and then I'll go.
All right. So I'm Joe, and I am really lucky to be able to drive a school bus in the community that I'm born and raised in. I love it here. I love that I'm driving my friends' kids and friends' kids sometimes. I've been driving for 13 years. This is my lucky number 13 right here. Usually that's bad luck, but it's been a pretty good year so far. And I think the moment that I sat in that driver's seat of the bus, I knew like it was comfortable. I loved the view. I loved having all those mirrors. Like I get into my car and I want all of my bus mirrors on my car. You
want banana mirrors?
Yeah, it felt comfortable. And the driving part for me came pretty easy. I really enjoyed how it felt. Like I said, you're up high, so you have a view of everything that's going on. You can see, clearly in front of you and around you. It was when you had to start listening to your radio, the CB radio, and then you add 50 kids behind you. That's when the challenges come in.
Right. No, wait, I got a question. Are you the cool bus or the rule follower bus?
Yeah, no, I pick my battles, Jerry. I pick my battles, and there's a lot that I do let go. We're safe. We're definitely safe rolling down the road, but right. We're pretty cool. I'm the music blaring, sports entertaining. Yeah, I think we're the cool bus, definitely.
Just for listeners, like information, Joe and I do work together at the same district. So you're going to kind of hear that kind of vibe, which I think makes a good podcast, right? Because like if we didn't work in the same district, other than like having different stories about dealing with, rules and other drivers, but we definitely do drive for the same district. So
it helps with familiarity.
That's a hard word.
That's a hard one, but it also what I went through. I can get off my bus, look at you, and you're like, yeah, I know.
Oh,
I know. It was that day.
Yeah, you can hear it on the radio and stuff like that. So, well, I'm Jerry. I've been a bus driver. I keep saying like 3 years, but like I got hired in January, so I only had like a half year. I don't even know what year, but I think this is my third or fourth. I think it's the third full school year, but I had a half year before that, so it's like 3.5 years. But so why I became a bus driver is I used to do lawn care. And I did it for like 20 years and it really beat up my back. And I'm just like, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. I used to get laid off every winter. So that was tough to kind of like come up with supplemental income for like 6-7 months. So then I was like, well, I want to give back to my community, but I want to get paid. Like I'm only 49. So it's like, I can't retire. Like I get people asking me that all the time.
It's the beard.
Well, yeah, they're like, oh, is this your retirement job? I'm like, oh, that's adorable. Not the kids, but like, and other places in my life.
No, the kids and the parents are actually, because we are cool bus drivers, the parents and the kids are worried, like when we're leaving. Like if you have a sub for the day, I get the feedback the next day. The parents are like,
Yeah.
oh, we thought you were gone. We thought
Yeah.
you left. So that
Yeah,
feels
for
good.
sure. Yeah, it does. So I decided to become a bus driver. I started working in the schools, and then I don't know how I got tuned into that, but I do love driving. Like, and I know you do too. We've talked about like just driving in general.
Yeah.
You like it, and I've done a ton of driving for my lawn care job and lots of other things. So went in there, got a job, and here we are. So that is kind of my fast story of who I am and where I came from.
And I did some college and I went to work in a factory and I loved it. I think there was so many opportunities in different branches that I could do. I was a woman high-low driver setting dies, and I absolutely loved that. Again, driving the high-low. It was driving. I loved it. Then the company decided to go to Canada, and we weren't invited. So that layoff put a new perspective on. But I want to say if something, I don't know how to put it, but if something like crisis like that happens and you have kids in an elementary school, go to the elementary school. Go there for a day. Ask the teacher if you can come in and read to them while the teacher can get some stuff done. That's what I did. And it took all of that pressure off for a little bit. Those kids entertained me for an hour. And since then, I showed up every day. I did copycats for the teachers. I met a bus driver and they said, you should come drive bus. I'm like, okay.
Dude, that's what we all do. I met a sub at one of the schools that I work at during the day, and I'm like, hey, you think about driving a bus?
Yeah, we recruit. Yeah.
Recruit all the time.
All the time. Sometimes it works.
Yeah. I got a certain person that we know recruited that way.
Yep. Those midday jobs that you described a little bit, or you can kind of branch out and see, look, you're working in the school district already. Just, come sit on a school bus and see, if you like it, because it'll surprise you when you get in and see, the view that you have. It's easier than you think. I think anyway.
Yeah, for sure. So, we kind of talked about, us a little bit, and like, why does this podcast exist? Like, why are we doing this? What prompted us? I don't know. Tell me.
I think I was just sharing the stories from my perspective and my view. When I came home at the dinner table and was telling my family the story, they were laughing. My kids I don't know if they realize it, but they crack me up. It seems like every day we have a situation where, they'll walk up onto the bus, they'll stare at me, and then they'll smile, and 3 teeth are gone. How did that happen in the time that I dropped you off? And you have a necklace around your neck with this little plastic tooth, and inside is your baby teeth. And they're just, especially second graders, they'll have a full set on Monday, and by Friday, there's 3 missing.
I got to tell this story about tooth. I know we're just like why this podcast exists, but I got to interject. This literally happened like a week ago. It's snowy out, and this kid was climbing up. Let me reset it. This was on the playground. So as a bus driver, a lot of us work middays to get our hours for benefit. So this was on the playground. So this kid is climbing up the jungle gym or whatever. I don't know what you call that thing, the playscape. I don't know. McDonald's
insurance
Playland.
Liability.
Yeah, exactly. They were climbing up, and apparently they slipped and their face hit something, whatever. She comes up, she's crying, blood. I'm like, what happened? I hit my mouth. Okay, whatever. So at this point, we don't know the tooth is gone. So we sent her to the office. Office calls on the radio. Hey, I got a pretty upset kid here. She lost her tooth. Can you find it?
Oh, sure.
Now, mind you, the tooth is white. The snow is white. What are the chances? So Come to find out, I didn't know she had gone up there. So the kids are telling me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to climb up this playscape. I go up there and I see a little red and I kind of push it. Well, the playscape has holes in it. And my partner was underneath. Yeah, I pushed the tooth down and he looked down. He's like, here it is.
Wow.
But before that, apparently they have a certificate if they can't find the tooth, if like it's for the tooth fairy, by the way. So the office prints it out and says, oh, unfortunately, we couldn't find the tooth, but this kid did lose it, so they can, get their freaking
certification for under the pillow. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was the tooth story for me. That was probably the most interesting tooth story.
I'm going to go off on another road about certifications, and I wanted to let you know that just so you know how qualified I am to be on this podcast. I have a certificate from one of my kids that says I am the best bus driver in the universe, not world. This kid did research and went out and said universe. So I am the best bus driver in the universe. I do have a couple of world certificates, but the universe one that tops everything. And I just wondered if you had any of those.
Yeah, I have a few. It's called Bus Rodeo. I think I got
no, that's not from your kids though.
See, I thought that's where you were going.
Oh no.
Anyway, so yeah, we wanted to start this podcast. A lot of it is an outlet. There's you gotta be careful when you're around kids, and you can't just. I mean, I got a potty mouth, and
yeah, that'll come out.
I've sworn twice on the bus. I got caught once from one of my kids, and it was fine. Like, I said, "Oh shit," like that, because I passed a stop, and one of my kids like, "Mr. Jerry, did you just say shit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." She goes, "It's okay. My dad says shit too." So
very
I'm
good.
Like, yeah.
I'm glad they grew up around it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the podcast is more about just like a venting space, and like I looked for bus podcasts, like school bus. I should clarify, school bus podcasts online. I can't
school bus,
public school bus.
Yeah, because that is different than private school bus. I think.
I mean, they still have the same stories. It's just.
Well, I drive for both though, and it's different.
What do you mean you drive for both?
I drive. I have a private run in the middle there.
Oh, yeah, yes.
That Sorry. I bring to the public. And the private kids are I want to say toned down about 10 more notches than when my public kids get on.
Well, we can talk about that another time, because I went to private school and I can tell you some stories.
Okay. Yeah.
Growing up. But yeah, so that's kind of why we wanted to start it, because we couldn't find anything. And it's just an outlet to just bitch. It
is, but it's going to be funny bitch, because I love where I live. I love our district, and we're not going to bash anything. This isn't going to be a negative space. And we're going to put some, one-liners in there once in a while, but we really I think both of us are good for this, because we can prove to our listeners that the relationship with our kids, it works. When was the last time you did a write-up, Jerry? Yeah, right?
I haven't done one this year.
No, it's been years, because the relationships that we have with our kids, I can nip it in the bud just by saying their name, which is my number one thing I want to talk about. Learn your kids' names.
Hold on. Is it nip it in the butt or nip it in the bud?
Bud, B-U-D.
Okay. Sorry, I broke your rant up. Learn your kids' names.
Learn your kids' names. Yes, it's important. There's a difference between, you don't want to say somebody's maybe saying something cruel and you don't know their name, so you don't say anything at all, versus, hey, student number 1, Bob, knock it off. And the behavior is stopped, like at that point. And again, we can get into that,
Well, we'll get into a lot of that throughout the podcast. But no, it is true. Knowing your kid's name is important. Setting a boundary right away.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, your expectations for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
expectations. Yeah. When I got on the bus, I didn't stand up and say, these are my rules. But
Yeah.
like at the beginning of the year, I have a whiteboard up there. And for the first week, I put like three things like, God, I should have took a picture of it. I know one of it was like always be kind, stay in your seat, no eating, even though I let my
Yeah.
older kids eat.
I didn't
That
hear
kind of
that.
stuff. I said, even though I let my older kids eat.
You let your older kids eat. Yeah.
And just, just three like not mission statements, but like, and they read that. I mean, I'm sure some of them scanned it, but it was up there for a first week of school. So
Yeah.
every time they left, they looked at that board and just, and then I reinforced from there. So.
Right. Yeah. And you have to do it in the beginning. You can't let it go. You can't, because then habits are created. And then if you go and say, well, no, you can't do that on a school bus. Well, I didn't know that. Well, they did know that, but you didn't say it. So you do have to
Yeah.
say it. You can't assume that the kids know. You can't.
Absolutely.
You can't assume that your little kids know how to sit down. You have to show them, physically show them, bottom to bottom, back to back. That's what we use here in our district. I think that's pretty widely accepted. And you want to get funny about it? Say, put your booty to the bottom of the cushion and your back to the back of the cushion. It's, mix it up a little bit so they listen to you. But you can't assume that the kids know their expectations on the bus. So you do have to tell them, even though you think,
Yeah.
God, you can't do this in your parents' car. You can't do it on the bus. Well, they're going to try. They're going to try and push it a little bit on the school bus.
Yes, for sure.
So in keeping with expectations, when I was in HR, the adults would come in crying and like children. So I thought, hey, I might as well switch it up and just go work with children, right? Because we can curb their behavior. It's expected, and we can help them change a little bit, but adults are pretty much set in their ways.
Yeah, you can mold the kids. I mean, that's what teaching is. And I by no means am I saying I'm a teacher, but
no. Kudos
but I
for our
mean, we
teachers.
play a vital role, but unfortunately at times we're looked at like a redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
Like we're the bottom of the barrel on stuff like that. But they do. I mean, I would rather deal with kids than adults. We would deal with adults in our job, and it's like there's no molding. There's no anything that's going to happen. This is the way it is, and it's not going to change. But yeah, I actually do like working with kids, which is really shocking because, Joe, you look at me and you're like, you deal with kids. Should we, make sure you got a background check? You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I really enjoy it. Like, it's super freaking weird.
It is weird. No, it's weird. My family said the same thing. I was 30 before I even contemplating having my own children. And then I did it one time. And now I have over 100 that I love dearly.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see them. We're on break right now. Happy holidays, by the way. And I can't, it's a long time. I miss my kids. I miss that camaraderie with them. Another hard word.
Yeah, camaraderie. Yeah, that is. Another hard one is say burglarize. Can you do it?
Burglarized. Yeah.
Okay, we did it. But normally I struggle on that one. No, I don't miss them yet. I'm sorry. Do I sound like a dick? I don't miss them. I was so ready for break. Like, I think I should reiterate. I don't have a big problem with my kids on the bus. It's the playground. Now, again, I don't have a problem with them either. It's just so much.
Yeah.
There's like 300 kids
throughout the day.
Yeah, it's 300 kids for two people for 2 hours. And it's, he did this, she did this. He knocked over my snow fort. He called me a jerk. He said I was stupid. I'm cold. What time does the bell ring? And I'm not kidding you.
Yeah, I did it. It's just your turn to go through that now.
Yes. Yeah,
I did it years ago. I was at our elementary school for about 12 years, and I did indoor and outdoor. So it was fun, but I did it through the COVID, and the COVID really, it told me that it was time to move on from that job. So I got to do the more driving throughout the day.
And as you figured out, Joe is way older than me. So that's why
Shut
No,
it.
she's not. She just has a lot more seniority, so I'm stuck in
Actually,
the
I don't want to
classroom.
plug your other podcast, but by plugging your other podcast that you do, you did over exaggerate my age. So, that
I felt
got
so
to me.
bad about that.
Yeah,
So
I'm
bad.
still a little mad.
You should be mad.
So thank you for when we were talking about this. I think I was like on your bus and we were just laid over somewhere and we were talking about, I think, just comparing stories of how my kids did this, your kids did this. I'm like, gosh, we need to tell people that would be fun. And all of a sudden we're here recording our first one. So thanks for making that concept come to reality. I love it.
Secretly, Joe, I've wanted to start a podcast because I have a current podcast now, and I have another one that had 210 episodes. And so I have I love podcasting. It's my favorite, like to sit down with your co-host and tell stories and stuff like that. And so I had been thinking about it. I even talked to my wife about it, but I needed somebody to be a partner, and you came to me with it and like, we should do this. I was like, yay.
Yeah.
I was so excited. So I was like,
victory.
yes, a new project. Cause I was like, I don't want to banter. No,
Yeah.
That's right. That's not the right word. I don't want to bug, or what's another B word for annoying somebody? Why did I go with banter? Why did I think that was an annoying phrase?
Yeah.
What's another word for bug? What was I thinking? I don't know. Anyways.
Like you said, this is a really good outlet. We're not going to bash. We're not going to tell on people, but I think what we do is important, and I think people want to listen. And if we can help one bus driver go, holy crap, that does work, then
Yes.
I'm successful. I feel successful. And hopefully people want to listen.
Or just be like, they get done with him like, God dang it, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, because
So,
they're not. Yeah. We're in it together.
for sure.
As we wrap up this podcast, I think our next one will share some stories from the road, what grinds our gears, some safety tips, and other topics. So as always, same bus,
Same kids.
different stories.